the mantra does work, and this is my experience. And what I usually do, for instance, in the morning, I do the mantra for around an hour and a half, 2 hours. I do it throughout the day as well, but oftentimes I'm occupied talking to people and so forth. Yeah. So it's not as it's not as focused sometimes. But I do the mantra, and for instance, the image of Sri Ramakant comes to mind all the time. There's a photo that I got from him from a fellow by the name of Charles and Ann, who wants to put together the book Self to Self.
I know who they are,
yeah. Yeah, he's, it's Sri Ramakant Maharaj when he was younger. He's sitting in sort of like a meditative posture. And that image just keeps coming to mind, and it's just basically, there's one comment that I read in, Master Self-Realization, bring nothing to mind. So it's just doing the mantra without bringing anything to mind, and there are those moments of formlessness. There's just nothing. And I haven't stabilized in that, but I mean, I do get those glimpses of just the formless, just nothing. And it's really a pleasure. I used to do a lot of thinking and reading and so forth, and now I find myself, and I still do read. In fact, I got a book about maybe a half a year ago or so, Bhagwat, which is the book that Sri Ramakant used. It's Eknath Bhagwat, who was a disciple of Janadana. And so I read that at night. It's almost like a Bible. It's like 1,000 pages long. And I just read a little bit. It's just kind of like put the right thoughts in mind before going to bed. But the thought, just the idea of bringing nothing to mind, I don't know, for some reason that just sticks with me. And basically that's all that because it's all that can be done. Ultimately, I mean, there's a certain formation or foundation that's got to be created by reading and, listening to talks and so forth. But ultimately, I find myself coming to the point where you can't bring anything to mind because it's just not true. It's just, it's just bringing nothing to mind. And that the mantra, it helps to center that. So that's my experience.
The question came up to me today about the mind and how in this practice, how the mind is so the mind doesn't become quote unquote controlled or mastered in the sense of being able to pick and choose thoughts that come through it, but does it become less prone to identification? Is that what happens over time?
Well, I mean, there's no mind at all. You'll see this. Mind is, like Maharaj says, a collection of thoughts identified with as my thoughts create my mind.
Yeah.
The truth is that it's just thoughts flowing. And if mantra is continued, then there's not an I am somebody else that can draw attention to these thoughts. And these various thoughts are continuing to see and poke, like Maharaj says, prick from the backside to see what you're still holding on to, ideas and beliefs about yourself. You, the selfless self, these thoughts are flowing so that you can see and release and use mantra. And the more personalized the thoughts are, the more you know in that area you're still holding on to, I am somebody else. But there is no mind at all.
I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, the screen of mind is basically from this perceiving, intuitive seeing, engraved on the screen of mind. You could say the mind is the movie theater. We talked about this last week. Mind is the movie theater, and all the people in the row watching the show are the beingness, and you, the selfless self, are the projector.
Right. I guess we all want a happier movie, right?
Yeah, but this is because the movie is the movie. The movie is, you're the projector. And truly, the projector is just providing the lights and the movement. And then you have the beingness, which what you're talking about, mind, my mind, it's just a bunch of flashing images on the screen. But the beingness uses this idea of my mind to create a story and to piece together what these lights and this images and the movement and the sound, what it's doing. So it's like when you go in a drive-in movie theater and you hold your headphones up and it's somehow interpreting these flashing images on my mind with this beingness, and here the selfless self is just projecting. Ramana Maharshi says whether the screen is on fire or wet or whatever, the people in the audience have nothing to say about it. They're not in terror when, I mean, they may feel some feeling, you know, horror movies and such, but there's no connection other than there's an interpretation, there's a viewing of this movie. And when the beingness is seen as not needed, if the whole movie theater burned down, these guys in the row and the screen caught on fire and burned away, you, the selfless self that's projecting, would just project. And without needing the beingness nor the screen.